Welcome back again to the TSL. We've actually got game 2 between RedeemeR and Advocate, and you're listening to Vol, of course. We're on game 2, so that means that we're on the map Bluestorm for this one. The first game was played on Longinus, as usual, and if this game is won by RedeemeR, then it will go through to Zodiac as the third game for the best of 3. Now, because Advocate won the first game, so if RedeemeR wins the second game, they'll be tied 1-1. Alright, so Advocate coming out and starting the game off with a wall-in, a choke point wall-in, as we saw last game as well, and as is quite often for Terran players to do on maps such as this. So just once again to remind people, we're in the TSL round playoff stage, featuring players that ranked 17 to 48 on the iCup ladder, and winners of this stage will go through to face the top 16 in a round of 32 playoff altogether. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, just check the Team Liquid website and it will be made clear to you. Both players... Ooh, this looks interesting. Advocate's actually brought in an SCV just at the point where RedeemeR is going to put down his hatchery, so a micromanagement battle between the workers ensues. We've got RedeemeR trying to put that hatchery down, but Advocate actually is just ringing around with this SCV. This is great micro by Advocate, just denying that hatchery to the last minute. Well done. He lost the SCV, but I think it was worth it. That hatchery is just going to go down a little bit later from RedeemeR. So there it is now. We've got the barracks almost walling in the choke point, but not quite. It's as I've mentioned in previous games on Bluestorm, that when Terran players wall off the choke point at that position at the top right, then the Marines will spawn outside of the wall, because the Marines spawn at the bottom of the southern side of the barracks every time. Looks like A2 / Advocate, I'm going to call him Advocate, is going for the command center straight away, so pretty typical stuff on Bluestorm. You often face mutalisks on this map, although I'm not sure whether that's changed significantly since they updated the map. We're now on Bluestorm 1.2, by the way. 6 zerglings coming out to just chase that SCV, ushering it out of the base. We've got a bunker going down. Hopefully it will be in time. I'm pretty sure it will be. Yeah, it should be. A third hatchery down for RedeemeR. I don't think RedeemeR's zerglings will be able to get into Advocate's main, although they might be able to cause a little bit of damage in taking out an SCV or two. Advocate's already ready with a few SCVs just to do some blocking work. One of them is just replacing the SCV on the command center, and it only takes a couple of Marines just to snipe away at the zerglings and keep them from doing any serious damage. So good micromanagement, early game micromanagement from Advocate, just denying the zerglings a chance to do any serious damage there. And let's see how we're going. That command center is nearly finished. We've got a 3 hatchery build over here from RedeemeR. Possibly mutalisks following up once he goes to Leotech. It looks like he's just sort of camping down, getting a lot of drones, and getting ready for a bit of a macro management game. We're not really seeing anything too quick from either player, so this game could actually be a little bit drawn out. We'll see. SCV is being transferred across for Advocate, so just pretty standard stuff. He'll really be looking to just up the number of barracks that he's got now and get that refinery and academy down. Just make sure he's got plenty of Marines just in case. RedeemeR does go for that mutalisk harass, which is all too common. I mean, I pretty much see it in 80 to 90% of games between Terran versus Zerg nowadays, so you can pretty much expect it. Second barracks going up. I think soon we'll be seeing a third and possibly even a fourth if the last game is anything to go by. Just to remind people that the previous game we saw Advocate go for a four barracks timing push, because RedeemeR had actually got his third hatchery in an expansion location, and SCV actually cutting into RedeemeR's space. So good micromanagement here by Advocate. He'll see that layer going up and he'll see no Hydralisk den. So it's pretty safe to assume, given this scouting information, that RedeemeR is in fact going to go for a spire, probably going to plonk the spire down somewhere near that middle hatchery just to make it harder for Advocate to find the right place to scan and confirm that it is there. So Advocate responding now by going for a third barracks. He's pretty much expecting to face Mutalisk at this point. just lifting up that initial barracks and moving it just makes it a bit easier for the micromanagement when you, if you like to use location hotkeys and press F4 or something. By the way, when the Bluestorm was upgraded, see this location here that I'm just selecting, that was actually widened, and it was a balancing issue on this map, because when Mutalisks come in, and look, RedeemeR has not in fact gone Mutalisks, he's gone for Hydralisks and upgrading Lurkers, so a bit of a twist there. RedeemeR going for the Lurker tech instead. But just back to my point about the map change, it's easier to get turrets into that spot and repair them. That's crucial for Terran versus Zerg on this map, so I'm glad they changed that. It makes this map a bit more balanced, and I guess that's why it stayed in the TSL, because that balance issue was removed. So good work there, but in fact, RedeemeR is not going to be going for Mutalisks, so it won't matter. He's going for Lurkers instead, and I feel that that's actually a bit of a clever play by him, because he knew that Advocate got that SCV into his base. The SCV actually managed to cut its way through and didn't see a Hydralisk den, assumed that RedeemeR was going for Mutalisks, so RedeemeR instead went for Hydralisks and Lurkers, and he's upgrading armor now. And this is actually quite good, because Advocate has gone for a barracks heavy build, and lots of Marines are not going to be effective against just simple Lurkers. And it would have been, if Advocate had known that that was going to happen, I'm sure he would have gone for a factory a lot quicker and gone to the starport, because that's a more effective way of dealing with Lurkers, at least in my opinion. Just going 4 barracks straight up is probably not the best shot, because he's not going to be able to break through the Sunkens. There's no other hatcheries for him to kill yet, and the Lurkers are really going to be able to dominate against groups of Marines like that. Second bunker going down. I'm not sure whether Advocate has actually scouted those Lurkers just yet, but he'll know about them very quickly, especially if he runs into them. Although he's not going to do that, because RedeemeR's chosen to build his, morph his Lurkers just outside of that miniature choke point next to his natural, and he's now moving the Lurkers across the map. Meantime, getting an expansion at the top left. Maybe that's a little bit too early, knowing that he's got that Advocate's got Marine groups out in the field. We'll see if Advocate scouts that. But in the meantime, Lurker's actually coming in now and burrowing just next to that bunker. I feel like that's actually a bad move, because the bunker is actually really hard to kill, and RedeemeR's lost his Lurkers, so a bit unfortunate there. If he had moved the Lurkers just to a different location, maybe he might have had a more successful move past, but he's got more Hydralisks now. I don't actually remember Hydralisks being able to move through that choke point in the previous incarnation of the map, but maybe that's changed. I'm not sure. I didn't really play Zerg back then. Advocate has indeed scouted RedeemeR's expansion at the top left and has destroyed it, forced to cancel rather than kill the drone. Just sending SCV around just to make sure that Zerg isn't getting more expansion. That's a good idea. RedeemeR opting for an expansion in the mineral-only location, much safer, but he doesn't get the third gas that way, so it's a compromise. Still, it's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all to just take what you can. Take what you can get. Starport going up. Factory, looks like Siege being researched. +1 weapons upgrade, so things just rolling along for the Terran economy, but he's going to be contained in his base for a while, I feel, because of the large amount of Lurkers that RedeemeR's got, and RedeemeR's bought himself a bit of time. He's got a hatchery at another location. Just keeping the factories going up and going up. It's not a bad idea. You're not wasting terribly much with a hatchery. It's less expensive than a command center or a nexus. And Lurker's attacking now, burrowing next to that bunker. I think that bunker might actually be taken down. No, it won't be. Too much repair going on. So well done defensively for A2. Sorry, I better call him Advocate, also known as A2. Also known as Dimitri, I think. Good responsive play by Advocate here, actually taking out the expansion at the mineral only. So again, RedeemeR has been reduced to 2 bases, plus the one at the 6 o'clock, which isn't up yet. Oh, it is up yet now, but no drones at it. Hive being researched, by the way, I didn't point that out. Hive being researched, so that's actually quite good, as opposed to the previous game where we saw just tier 2, and RedeemeR couldn't really afford to upgrade it, given the problems he was having at that stage. Dropship load of Marines being picked up, and a medic